What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. Today's episode, we're gonna have ourselves a shootout between the Pixel 3 and the Galaxy S9 Plus. I'm gonna use the drift method. Freaking incredible. Round F16 for that to get that sunburst. I know that was really dorky, but I couldn't stop myself. So I want to have a little portrait shootout today, and I want to compare the portrait modes. So in the Pixel 3, it's called portrait mode, and in the S9 Plus, we're going to use the live focus mode. And then I'm going to do another thing, and I'm going to compare them using this also. So that's the Moment 58 Tele, and I'm going to put that on here as well. So we're going to do a few shots with just the portrait and the live focus, just to see how well both the phones can handle the backgrounds and making that smooth background and all that stuff. And then we're going to put the Tele on to try to up that and get some more natural pleasing backgrounds, and just to up the portraits overall and see how each one of them handles the Tele and how they look and everything. So there is quite a big difference in the style of these two phones and how they shoot. So that's going to be an issue. So it may not be really that fair of a direct comparison, but I just want to see what each one is capable of, and I'm going to use all the tricks in each one of these bags to get the best image possible. All right, so let's get started. First up, we're just going to do straight up portrait mode in the Pixel 3 and live focus mode in the S9 Plus. And I'm just going to take some regular shots of Brittany and probably have her take some shots of me. So let's find a nice sunny spot since it's freezing out here and get warm and shoot some pictures. All right, sunshine. Start out with the Pixel 3. All right, so here's what we're seeing with the Pixel 3. Let's go ahead and put it in portrait mode. So what I want to do here is we're going to get a mix of different backgrounds. So we're going to get some of these trees and stuff in there. So now let's pull out the S9 Plus. Okay, here we go. So we're in auto mode, so let's go ahead and switch this to live focus. And there we go. There she is. So you can see that telephoto lens kicked in, and that's the field of view that we're going to have by default. Ooh, that looks good. So right now I don't have the background all the way up. I'm going to adjust that and post a little bit. So I'll come back over here and get some of this tree and look towards me a little bit. Yeah. So you can see it doing some wonky things. Okay, so we're chasing the sunlight here because it's kind of going away. So that was with just the phones and just their portrait and live focus modes. So now we're going to bust out the Moment lens and get some more telephoto looking stuff. We'll start out with the Pixel 3 here. All right, so here's the Pixel 3, and we've got the Moment telephoto in portrait mode. Now we're getting some really nice backlight. Okay, now let's switch to the S9 Plus. So the problem is this, well, I'm going to put it in auto mode. So this is the problem, is we can't use both telephotos, so we can't get that beautiful blur, that beautiful fake blur. But what we can do is use the compression of the lens. So now I'm going to go ahead and do crop in and do the 2 times. So now we're getting 4 times. That's going to add a lot more compression to her. You see that's bringing that background closer. That's something that's going to help make a more natural blur. So the downside to using the 4 times, basically this is effectively a 4 times zoom, is you need to be real steady, especially if you're in auto mode, because you don't know what shutter speed it's doing. So I'm going to try the same thing with the Pixel 3, and what I'm going to do is just zoom in. Since I zoomed in with this, I'm going to zoom in to see if I can get that effective crop. We're losing the light again, but we're just gonna have to.
It's gone.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
Brittany's very lizard-like. This is not her ideal photo shoot. Thus the scarf. All right. Oh, there we go. Can we get that? So again, this just like with the S9 Plus, when you're zoomed in this much with anything, the more telephoto you have, the more difficult it's gonna make. I'm taking a crap ton of pictures because I just don't know what's going to be in focus and what's not. All right, so the light's gone. That kind of is going to wrap up the shoot for this one. All right, so I'm in a different forest now, different day, and I've had some time crunching, so I'm going to wrap this up. So let's go over the results real quick. So I got one shot from each different way that I wanted to test it. So here's the S9 versus the Pixel, just Samsung's live focus versus Pixel's portrait mode. So the first thing that I noticed that's a big difference is the way the Pixel processes the face and the skin tones, and it has in portrait mode, in its default portrait mode, it has some sort of skin smoothing algorithm, and you can see how it really smoothed her skin out. The S9 Plus does do this, however it's nowhere near as noticeable as when you set it next to the Pixel. I think both of the backgrounds here look about the same. The Pixels might be just have a slight edge on the amount of blurriness, but overall I think in this situation they both did really well handling the transition zone between the subject and falling off to the background. So here's the shots that I got with the moment attached to both the S9 Plus and the Pixel. So here's where we're going to start seeing some differences in the background, because on the S9 Plus you can't use its live focus when you have the moment on because it's blocking the S9 Plus's telephoto, and it needs both lenses to make that background blur, whereas the Pixel does not. So that's definitely an advantage to the Pixel. However, when you put that moment lens on there, it does do a decent job at giving a little bit of background separation and a little bit of background blur. Again, it's not the same as the Pixel's portrait mode blur that you're able to do, but it still looks pretty decent to me. And overall, I think I kind of prefer the S9 image here with the moment lens. I just think it looks a little bit more my style. So I'm not going to say better or worse in this case, because I think they both still look great. So one thing that you'll definitely notice too when you put that moment lens on is you're going to notice the different flaring. So if you shoot how I'm shooting here, which is into the sun, I really like those subjects to be backlit. I think it's really natural looking, and I just like that style for portraits. So when you're using the moment lens, I like the flare that it's giving. If you can avoid flare, usually with lenses, that's a good idea, and you can move a little bit and angle a little bit and all that, but if you have to have flare, it's good to know that I think at least this is more pleasing definitely than the flare on both the Pixel and the S9 Plus. So that's a big plus too for having the moment on anything. So here is the last set of images that I got, and that is going to be with the moment lens on the S9 Plus and the 2x zoom engaged. So basically it's cropping in to the wide angle sensor plus the 58mm on the moment. That's giving me an effective 4x zoom, and you're really starting to see that background compression now. You can see the background looks a lot closer to her. The weeds, the grass, the tall grass and stuff on her, next to her in the background, you can definitely see that looks a lot closer, but it's not. I didn't move her from the last image. So that's the compression that we're getting, and compression for portraits in my book is definitely one of my favorite things to do. So if you don't know about lens compression and you want to know more about that, I did a video on that. You can check it out up here. It's really helpful for both DSLR and mirrorless photography, as well as stuff like this where you have a longer lens on your phone. But anyways, we're starting to see that compression now with both of these. So with the Pixel and the moment lens, what I did is I did the 2x. The Pixel has the ability to zoom in by 4x or so, but I didn't do that because that looks like crap. So I just zoomed into 2x to kind of match the focal length that is similar to the S9 Plus, and that's about where I want to push it for the quality wise. And here's where you're starting to see the Pixel struggle with the background separation. You can see the fall off by her hair where they're trying to blur the background is not looking natural at all. And this is where also the image quality is starting to fall apart on both the S9 Plus and the Pixel, because in both cases we're utilizing the 2x zoom to give that effective 4x zoom. So that's the downside of both of that. You can get that compression. I think the compression looks really good. However, the combination of losing the IQ a little bit, the image quality, and introducing more camera shake. So this is where you might want to consider a tripod or something like that. Or in the case of the S9 Plus, you can put it in pro mode and you can put your shutter speed to a faster shutter speed, whatever you need to do. That's going to help out with that lens shake, because I was getting a lot of that lens shake and just shake, even though I'm not that shaky, but the effective 4x zoom on these little tiny sensors is a big difference. It's a big deal, and that can definitely lower your image quality and introduce that blur that you're not going to have when you're not zoomed in that far. So that's all the photos that I had time for on this one. I'm gonna put all of these photos in a gallery. So I'll have the link for that in the description below, and you can check out those for yourself and pixel peep if you want, and kind of see which ones you like and which ones you don't like. If you have any questions about anything that I shot or any of the methods that I used or whatever, leave those in the comments below and I'll definitely answer them. Let me know what you guys think. Which ones are you liking so far? Which look are you liking? Do you like the look of the S9, or do you like the look of the Pixel better? So leave those in the comments below. I'm definitely interested to know your thoughts. All right, so that's it for me. I'm gonna get back to decorating this random tree and this random forest right now for an unrelated photo shoot. But like I said, if you have any questions, leave them in the comment below. If you like this stuff and you want to see more, definitely make sure you subscribe to the channel. I've got new videos every Tuesday and Friday. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. We'll be right back.